Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S and S. So, we want to talk about sustainability and the cost of some of these projects. So, we're going to start back here with the chickens. That new coop my brother hooked me up with. And I have moved both of the young roosters out here, but butchered one out. I'm going to wait and see what this black copper Moran turns out, because he looks like he's going to be a beautiful rooster, and it would not be bad idea to have a spare rooster separate from the other hens. That way you can mix bloodlines and things when you go to breed. So I think we're going to end up keeping this guy here, and we're going to name him Stan. Now, for those wondering where these names are coming from, Stan from American Dad, and then over here we have Hank Hill from King of the Hill. Yeah, I like those types of weird things, guys. But when it comes to the pricing of all of this type of stuff, I want you to understand when you first get started into it, depending on the type of run and coop you're going to do, is going to depend on a lot of the cost. So this thing here, if I'm not mistaken, I think my brother said it cost around $300 or something like that. If that's true, and if it lasts a lot better than that other one I purchased, totally different company. This looks like it's made of some good lumber. But man, you're making me break my train of thought there, bird. Quiet down. But anyway, yeah. So I ended up building this run here using the materials that came with it, and then upgrading it with this 1/2 inch welded wire. I used stainless on the bottom, galvanized on top, and then covered it with a tarp, and then that shed that I have converted over. The total cost for all of that is about 500 bucks. So there's a pretty good size difference. So it's going to depend on how handy you are. If you don't intend on keeping more than 2 or 3 chickens, this would probably be the way to go. I'm going to use it for a rooster pen. Yeah, you can keep doing that and you'll be over here in his place. And over here we have our brown leghorn. She's still kind of small. She's not gotten real big yet, but she's still trying to find her place in the group. It's nice to see she's out here a little more often. Originally, the 2 cockerels and that pullet would all hang together and they didn't associate with the rest of the flock, which can be a little discouraging because you want all of your birds to actually become a flock, and it can take weeks. It can even take months for that to happen. So we'll just keep an eye. They're not picking on her. They're not hurting her. So we're going to assume that everything's good. We'll go over here and check out this garden, guys. But before we do that, I wanted to say, you're looking at, like I say, about $500 for an initial setup like that. And you could probably do better just getting lumber. It just depends on the prices in your area. This was all online purchases. And you can check the playlist for a lot of that stuff. But as far as the feed, before, when I had 15 chickens out here, it was costing me about $60 a month to feed them. That's not a great investment in my experience. I can raise 3 or 4 times the amount of quail that I have right now on that same card. But producing stuff with the garden, getting the weeds around the house and things like that, and just walking around getting insects to give them, that's cut that feed bill down to about $30 a month for what I've got with all these birds out here. And there's still going to be a couple more butchered out. I'm going to get rid of them Brahma hens. They're a lot bigger than what I want for a chicken, and they eat twice as much as these other birds. So for about 20 bucks is what I'm guessing we're going to be sitting at. We'll see. We'll have to get back updated on that. After the initial investment, $20 a month, you would be able to buy your layers feed and things like that for when they get to laying age. And I do recommend that you do that. You can still give them calcium supplements and stuff, but they really need that layers feed because it takes a lot out of a bird to lay. Or you could give them some kind of a source of calcium via eggshells if you're raising quail. That's what I do. I keep all my birds on game bird feed. It's the cheapest feed I can find. It's 18 bucks for 50-pound bag, but that's cheapest in this area. Now I'm trying to get where I can grow my own stuff, and that's why I come out and I look to see where the yard drains well, because you don't want millet sitting in an area where it's going to have a lot of water hold. And all of this seems pretty soggy to me. So I think what we're going to do is up on the front end at the garden, we're going to take and turn that into millet later. But it's going to take about a year or so to get that soil which is fine because I've got to build that soil up. It is bad. I built that other end of the garden up that looks so well. You'll see it here in a minute. And it's doing fantastic. The other back area where I haven't done much to it, it's not growing very great at all. So here we go, guys. We're going to go to the garden. So after all that rain, figured needed to check on these tomato plants. They look like they're kind of knocked over a little bit, but I'm not seeing any damage. And some of that might just be from the weight because we're getting so many tomato clusters on these things, guys. They get kind of heavy. Looks like it's reached over into the corn. Didn't really want that to happen, so I have to make sure I don't plant these too close together next time. But everything is looking really good. There's some more down in there. Let's check these big tomatoes. Oh yeah, they're coming in nice. Looks like most of the corn is now pollinated. I came out earlier and picked all my cucumbers and stuff. There was quite a few after that rain. I expect it's going to pick up here in the next few days with all this sun. So everything's looking good out there. I can't wait till the tomatoes are ready. I mean, you're going to have to wait. Unfortunately, it can take 4, 6, 8 weeks, depending on how large your tomatoes are that you're growing. So, but they're coming in nice. I'm seeing a lot of weight. I've saw a lot of new blooms. So that means that the bloom boost that I did here late last week is starting to come into effect. So expect a lot more flowers, and then production is going to pick back up. And we're still averaging, you know, maybe 2 or 3 squash a day, 4 or 5 cucumbers, and a zucchini every other day. And that's been more than enough for us on what we're eating. So then we've added a lot of quail, some young rooster. We're going to have 2 hens. We're going to get them out of that pen and just be down to 4 hens and 2 roosters. 1 rooster to the side is just an auxiliary. So hope everyone has a great day. We're out of here.